Have you ever felt like there's some kind of invisible force just holding you back? You've set these big goals, but something keeps you stuck. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that hidden wiring. We're diving deep to uncover the powerful automatic forces that are secretly calling the shots in your life.
I mean, we've all been there, right? You have a perfect plan. Maybe it's for a new business, a fitness goal, or just finishing a project that's been sitting there forever. You know exactly what you're supposed to do, but for some reason, you just don't do it. It's that incredibly frustrating gap between knowing and doing, and it's a universal human thing. And look, it's so easy to beat yourself up and think it's a lack of willpower, but it's not. And you can't just fix it by thinking positive either. You want to know why? Because by the time you even remember to think a positive thought, it's already too late. Your brain is already kicked into a conditioned automatic reaction that's way deeper and way faster than your conscious mind.
So, if it's not about willpower, what's really going on? Well, it turns out that pretty much everything we do boils down to two primal forces. These are the two levers that control virtually every single decision you make, every action you take, and every time you hesitate.
And here they are, the twin forces. Every single thing we do in our lives is an attempt to either avoid pain or gain pleasure. Seriously, think about it. From grabbing a snack to starting a new relationship, you're either trying to move away from a feeling you don't want or move toward a feeling you do want. This is the engine of all human behavior. Now, here's the crucial part. It's not just that pain and pleasure exist. It's about which one your brain links more strongly to any given thing. If you unconsciously associate more pain with making sales calls than with being broke, guess what? You're not going to pick up the phone. The stronger link, whether it's conscious or not, always wins.
And this brings us to the actual name for these hidden links, this automatic wiring in our brains. It's called a neuroassociation. And honestly, understanding this one concept is the absolute key to taking back control of your life.
So what is a neuroassociation? It's simply the connection that your nervous system instantly, automatically makes between anything you experience and a gut feeling of either pain or pleasure. It's not an intellectual thought. It's a physical, gut-level conditioned response. This is the hidden wiring we've been talking about.
Let's look at some real-world examples of how these automatic links play out. For a lot of people, the very idea of starting a business instantly triggers the pain of potential failure. The word dieting just screams the pain of deprivation, but a piece of chocolate? Ah, that's an instant link to pleasure. Your brain makes these connections in a split second, and they are quietly running your entire life. This old advertising slogan is a brilliant, almost scary example of how powerful this stuff is. Even if you've never smoked a day in your life, your brain probably wanted to finish that sentence with, "Cigarettes should." Now get this, that slogan hasn't been on TV since the 1970s. But through sheer repetition, it created a neuroassociation so strong it's still wired into our culture. That's conditioning for you. Okay, so we're run by these automatic links. That might sound a little discouraging, right? Like we're just puppets. But here is the most important, most empowering part of this whole idea. This wiring is not permanent. You can consciously decide to change these associations. You can literally install new ones that actually serve you. And to see just how this works, I want to share a really powerful real-world story. It's about a young man from Hawaii. He was failing miserably in school. He'd been labeled as basically unable to learn, partly because of his dyslexia. So this slide shows you the core problem and the ultimate solution. For this boy, the entire idea of learning in a classroom was neurologically wired to ultimate pain. I'm talking frustration, failure, feeling dumb. The mission was to completely flip that switch, to rewire his brain so that learning became linked with ultimate pleasure. So how on earth did they do it? It was actually a pretty straightforward three-step process. First, they identified the negative link. Learning equals pain. Got it. Second, they got him to access a peak positive state, which, for him, was the pure, absolute joy he felt while surfing. Now, step 3 is where the magic happens. While he was feeling that incredible joy from surfing, they had him repeatedly think about learning. His brain literally started to cross the wires, linking that amazing feeling of surfing to the idea of schoolwork. And here is the part that is just mind-blowing. This entire transformation, changing a core belief that had defined this kid's entire academic life, it was done in a single session, just 45 minutes. That's how fast our brains can change when we use the right levers. And the results weren't just some vague, he felt better thing. I mean, you can see the proof right here. He went from a report card full of D's and F's to one with A's, B's, and C's. By changing just one single neuroassociation, his behavior, his results, and his entire future were completely transformed.
So, think about that. If changing just one association can have such a massive impact, what happens when you start consciously designing the associations that guide your entire life? This isn't just about small habits anymore. This is about shaping your ultimate destiny.
This is the chain reaction of your life. Every single action you take, no matter how small, is a cause you set in motion. That action creates an effect, a result, and each one of those results stacks up, creating a direction for your life. And that direction, repeated over time, becomes your ultimate destiny. It all starts with those tiny actions driven by your hidden wiring.
This quote from Tony Robbins just drives the whole point home. The life you're going to have in 10 or 20 years isn't some far-off event that just happens to you. It's being built brick by the tiny actions you're taking today. And those actions are controlled by the associations you have right now. The time to design your future isn't later, it's now.
So, where do you even begin with all this? It's actually really simple. The very first step is just awareness. You have to start noticing the invisible scripts. What do you automatically link pain to? What do you link pleasure to? Sometimes just observing these connections without judgment is enough for your brain to go, hey, wait a minute, that link isn't serving me. And that's where the change begins.
And that brings us to the final question. And this one is just for you to think about. Look at your life, your goals, the things that are holding you back. What is the one thing you currently link pain to that if you could just flip it and link massive pleasure to it instead, would change everything? What single neuroassociation, if you rewired it today, would set you on the path to a completely new destiny?